The older I get and the more mature I become, the more I realize that life is not personal whatsoever. And there's no reason to take things personal because for so long, I've always had this feeling of offense from everything, from things happening to me, from people leaving my life, people hurting me, things ending, things not turning out how I wanted them to. I would always take offense to these things happening until I realized that these things are happening for a reason, right? Whether that be for a good reason or a bad reason, it's happening for a reason. And the more I learn that life is not just happening to me, it's happening to everybody, which means that the decisions that other people make that might hurt me, or the decisions that they made to leave my life, or, you know, not be friends with me anymore, the family that chose to hurt me, these decisions came from what they felt best. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't mean it's right. It just simply means that if it didn't happen, the next step wouldn't happen. And what I mean by that is if I didn't have people betray me, I wouldn't learn how to not get betrayed again. I would not learn how to deal with my feelings after being betrayed, right? I would just know the definition of betrayal. And the way that my storyline is, God knew that I had to deal with understanding how betrayal feels, because for whatever purpose down the line, I have to be prepared for that. And the more that I look at life like that, the more I'm okay with natural departures, the more I'm okay with other people's decisions, and the more I'm okay with not trying to control other people's decisions, because we're all suffering, right? We're all trying to find a way. And it's not just me in this. And sometimes I forget that because it feels like you're all alone in this until you realize that we are all the same. We might be, different, but we're all the same. We all have the same struggles. And that person that hurt you has the same struggles as you. That family member that never decided to acknowledge their wrong, they're suffering just like you. And it's not to excuse people's decisions, it's just to get an understanding of you cannot control other people's decisions. And I start to look at life as there's levels, right? Life is like a video game. And in a video game, there's levels of the game. And we all start off at level 1, right? And when you're at level 1, you're fresh, right? You're new to the game, you're new to life, just learning, right? And the more you excel, the more you heal, the more you get closer to becoming a better person, you level up. That's what you naturally do. And I noticed that, in the early levels, level 1 through 10, I might have had, people along the lines of, middle school friends. There was family that I was close to, opportunities that I thought, I wanted to pursue. And these were all at those levels. And there was a certain level that something started to fall off. And I started to lose things and lose people, and opportunities changed. And the more that I realized that that just comes with the changing of levels, the more I'm not hurt anymore, because I know that if I am around people that are living in a level 2 reality, and I am mentally, spiritually, physically prepared to live a level 10 reality, I cannot hang around level 2 people. You get what I'm saying? Because they will take away from the things that I have in level 10, right? And it's not even that they're bad people, it's simply that they're not ready for a level 10 yet, right? They haven't done the work to get there, and you have. So when you see these people that aren't there yet, you see old friends, or you see family members, or you're in relationships with people and they're not at your level, instead of questioning why can't they just be there, they need to be there, and forcing them to get there, understand that they have a purpose too. And it just might happen that their purpose is to not get to level 10 as fast as you got there, right? Imagine their purpose is to find themselves at 50 years old. You can't change their life story. And it saddens you that, these people came in contact with you, and, you had connections, and, you love these people. But at some point, you have to realize we all have different storylines, and we don't know the depth of our story yet. And when you don't know, you don't understand why certain people have to be left in the past. You don't understand why you have to set boundaries with certain family. You don't understand why you have to stop pursuing certain career choices, or why you have to stop, having certain interests. And this was a real struggle for me because, when you're getting closer to God, when you're getting closer to Christ, there's certain things that, your old self or your flesh desires that that God would not want you to desire. And that comes with lust, that comes with, male validation, that comes with unhealed trauma, that comes with, bullying, um, talking about myself, that comes with a lot of trauma wounds that I, grew up around, that I raised myself to be like, that I conditioned myself to be like. And when God told me that I would be reborn again, and that, I will be healing in certain areas, when I started to heal in those areas, I found that I didn't have the same interests. I didn't like the same music I was listening to. I didn't like to hang around the people that I was hanging around anymore. I didn't like, the same type of people that I chose to date in relationships. I didn't have the same interests. And I noticed that when I first, became friends with these people, when I first, were around these people, we had the similar beliefs. We had similar tastes in music. We had all these things. And then I noticed that once I healed and I excelled to a different level, I no longer wanted to be at level 2 anymore, and I realized that God had a bigger plan for me. And it hurts to let go of that, because you're like, why, God? Like, why can't I have fun anymore? Why can't? And that was my biggest thing of like, I'm not gonna have fun anymore. Like, now I'm gonna have to listen to gospel music all the time. I'm gonna have only Christian friends to where they just judge me, and they, what I'm saying? It was all these bad thoughts until I realized, wow, that's a stereotype of what I think is gonna happen when I give my life to God. Not knowing that your fun is going to change. When you level up, your fun changes. You no longer want to be at level 2 taste. You know what I'm saying? You no longer want to hang around the same things or talk about the same things. You just find yourself so uncomfortable and not at peace with the conversation anymore. You find yourself so lost, right? And it gets annoying because it seems like everybody around you is so stuck and you're just the odd man out. But that's a good thing, because that's showing that you're not comfortable here anymore. I don't want to be around this, right? Your energy starts to get disrupted, and that comes with leveling up. You cannot take people from the past into your upgrade, because they're not ready for that. And it's not that they're bad people, or it's not that you're better than them. It's that is not their life story. That's your life story. Your life story is to, you know, figure out your life and start to heal at 22. Their life story might be they don't get it till 30 or 40, or they never get it. And you cannot control the outcome of their story just because you want them to be in your life so bad, and you love them. And a lot of us get like that. We want things forever, and we have this obsession with thinking that everything has to be forever, and it doesn't. There's levels and there's lessons that people have to teach you, and then they go on their way. And that's okay. And you have to learn to not be so attached to people that you keep them around longer than they're meant to be kept. You don't allow yourself to grow because you're so stuck on, well, what are these people going to think about me? If I go to this next level, I'm not going to have fun. These people are going to think I'm too Christian or too godly or too spiritual. And that was a big thing for me, of people around me making me feel like I'm too spiritual, or I'm too much into God, or I'm too strict on myself because I didn't allow myself to do certain things that I used to do. I didn't want to go out to parties and have fun with random guys. I didn't want to, be talking to multiple people. I didn't want to listen to music that went against God. I didn't want to put myself on the internet in a position to where I can be lusted after. I no longer wanted to, bully people. I no longer wanted to talk about people behind their back. I no longer wanted to gossip. I just didn't want to get into the same things that I used to be into. And I can be vulnerable and say that I used to do these things heavy. I was a worldly person. I didn't know what it was like to be like God. And now that I do, and now that He speaks to me so clearly, I feel disrespectful to even put myself in that position while God is in the room. I feel uncomfortable. And that just comes with understanding discernment and understanding that, wow, I'm actually close with God and I care about how He looks at me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be respected by God. And that says a lot with growing. And that it takes a lot to get there to notice that God is in the room so you don't do things out of your flesh. And that's been a hard struggle. But just, again, learning that when you level up, that doesn't mean that everybody around you will level up, and understanding that there are seasons in your life and not everybody is permanent, and it's sad. It's sad. It is. And it hurts because I wish I could take everybody. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can heal everybody's heart, but you can't. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but just allow yourself to level up and don't feel bad for leaving level 2 people at level 2 when God is bringing you to level 10. Because you cannot get to level 10 if you don't know how to play the game. There's different struggles and hardships at level 10 that level 2 people might not understand. And it's for their sake. It's not even just for you. It's not just for protection of your goals and your ambitions in life. It's for them. It's protection for them because they can't handle what you can handle. God put the hard work on you for a reason, because you can handle that. Those people can't handle that just yet, or they might not ever be able to handle that, and that's okay. But you have to keep going because God put that goal in your heart. He put that purpose in your heart. And if you feel like you need to excel and you need to break free from people and things and this old way of living, you need to do that. And don't feel wrong for it. Don't feel like you're going to be bored or you're not going to have fun. Let me tell you something. When you're with God, you will never be bored. You will always have fun. This is a society's way of thinking that you will not have fun if you get close to God because you only listen to godly music. You're only, you're not talking about people anymore. There's nothing to talk about. There's plenty of things to talk about. People are just scared to heal, and because you're not, you're excelling and you're growing and you're leveling up. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but do not be scared to upgrade your life. And when your life seems to upgrade, do not be scared to let go of the things that you once knew that you no longer are anymore, because you don't identify as those things anymore. There's certain people that are in those level 2s that they will attach certain things to you that no longer are you. Growing up, you were, you happened to lust after a lot of men. You happen to listen to worldly music. You happen to go to parties every night, hook up with people. That's not even you anymore. And there'll be people around you that constantly remind you of that and constantly feel like you have to be stuck there. And you're not there anymore. So when God says it's time to level up, you have to level up and you have to let these people go. You have to let these things that you used to do, this old way of living, you have to let it go and you have to leave it in the past, because it doesn't serve you and it will never serve you at level 10. Because how your life is going, you were been supposed to leave that at level 5. Because level 6 is when it was deaded, right? That's when it literally could not be continued. So it definitely won't be continued at level 10. And that's what God is just reminding me and allowing me to speak to people and say, is that you have to allow yourself to grow and put yourself first before other people, because again, they will never be at level 10 if they're not ready. And pray for them and pray that they will be, and maybe you'll still be at level 10 and they'll eventually get to level 10, but that's only in God's will. And if God brings it back together, cool, but you have to let go and don't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Understand that God is allowing it to let go for a reason. But again, I don't know who need to hear that, but allow yourself to upgrade, allow yourself to become a different person. Don't be so stuck in the old way of living because you're scared of what people might think of you. People are gonna think things if you are one way or another. They don't care. Okay, no one cares. No one really cares about how you're living your life. It's just a society thing, making you feel like you have to be a certain way. But society is just, we already know it's all messed up. So you allow God to lead you. Don't allow social media and the world control you, because you're in this world. This world is not, this world does not have a hold on you. You know what I'm saying? You have a hold on the world. You are way more powerful than this world, because God is within you and God made the world. So I don't know if you need to hear that, but I'm hoping that you take that word up to God and you pray on it. And again, I love you guys and have a great day.